Hi everyone, it's Leanne here. Welcome to another video on my YouTube channel. Today I'm going to show you how I created my winter alpaca holiday card. And this is using the winter alpaca stamp from Lawn Fun. This came out in 2015 for the holiday last year. And I'm going to use Memento Tuxedo Black ink. I'm going to stamp my alpaca first. And off the bat, I apologize if I call this a llama because I keep calling it a llama, but I know it's an alpaca, but it's so cute. I love this stamp set. So I've been saving this to do a video for this year. Now I'm going to create a limited run of these cards and they'll be available in my Etsy shop. And the link is in the description below, as well as in my channel header on the main page if you want to check that out. So to begin, I'm going to color my little alpaca using the skin tone set of COPICs and just doing his little face and adding the shadows. And then I'm going to come in, and my alpaca is going to be a little bit different. I'm not going to do traditional Christmas colors, but I still want to keep sort of a wintry theme to him. And so I'm going to choose some colors here that are cool still and kind of fall into the holiday theme. So I'm using B60 as the base here for his fur. And then I'm going to come in with BV02, and this is a slightly darker purple, and that's going to create the shadows. So that kind of creates the lumps and bulges, I guess, in his fur, those little bumps around the edges. I'm just putting a little bit of shadow all the way around, a little bit lighter on the left side of the alpaca, but shadow all the way around so it creates the curvature look of his body. And then to finish it off, I'm just going to put little wisps of flicks of the marker of the darker color, the BV02, just to create, again, the little tufts of fur. So to do a scarf, I'm going to use BG13 as the base here. And then I'm going to come in with BG18 and I'm going to create the shadows. And so just putting the shadows underneath the scarf edges and underneath that overlapped scarf at the bottom or at the back there, and then just a little bit at the top of the knot too, where the scarf is coming out from the neck and folding over the front. And then once I have my shadows laid down, I'm just going to come back in with my BG13 and blend that out a little bit into the base color. I always lay down a base color first, and then I try to use the shadow really quickly while the ink is still wet on the paper. And then I find that when I come back after making my shadow with the base color, it blends really, really nicely. So I ran that through my Sizzix die cutting machine. And here I'm going to use two distress inks. I'm using Tumbled Glass and Cracked Pistachio. And this is on mixed media paper. This is Strathmore, and I believe it is 400 series. I'll put the link in the description below. I just want to have a faded sort of ellipse behind him. I don't want to cover the entire page. So I'm using the Tumbled Glass on the top and then coming in with the Cracked Pistachio and just doing light circles and blending that out as best as I can. So this is the sentiment I'm going to use. This is from the stamp set, Baby It's Cold Outside. And I want to do it on an angle just to do something a little different. I'm going to have my llama, or my alpaca, there we go. My alpaca will be in the center. So I've just put him down for placement. And I'm stamping this again with Memento Tuxedo Black ink. Now you'll want to make sure if you do blending that your card is really dry. That blending ink takes a while, so you'll want to maybe zap it with your heat gun or a hair dryer, or just give it time to set into the paper. So now I'm doing the snowflakes from that same stamp set, and I'm using Versamark ink, so it's a clear ink, and I'm going to use embossing powder on this when I have these in place. So I'm just going to carefully remove my llama so he doesn't disrupt the parts where I put the Versamark ink. And I'm going to put down a folded paper to catch the drippings from the embossing powder. And I'm just going to lightly sprinkle this over the card, being careful not to get it on the sentiment because that is still wet from stamping it, but that it gets on all my little snowflakes. I'm going to tap that off, and then anything that got missed, any little stray crumbles, I'm just going to come in with the paintbrush and brush those off. Now I embossed this, but I found that there were a few holes in my layout of my snowflakes, so I came back in and added a few more. And you can easily do this. If you do emboss and then you want to add a little bit later, you can for sure go in and do that again. So now it's time to put the llama together, and I'm going to put him on with foam tape. So I've cut one piece for the main part of his body, and then I had a spare piece left over from another project, and I just tucked that on the back part that was open. And using my X-Acto knife, I attached my alpaca, I think I said llama earlier, my alpaca, and I just found the placement for him and then pushed him down into place. Now the base sentiment, Alpaca my scarf, I'm going to put at the bottom here. And so now I'm going to attach that card onto a card base. So I'm using just a typical cardstock. I went to Staples and bought 100 sheets in a pack, and it's actually really decent cardstock. And so I use that for my base. And so I just put some tape down with my tape roller, and this one I turned upside down to line it up. Normally I would just stand it up and hold it against the edges of my hand, but the front of the card was a little bit bigger, and I intended it to be that way, so I wanted to make sure I lined that up good. So I'm coming in with my Wink of Stella brush pen in clear. It's a glitter pen, and just adding some glitter to his little scarf. And he's all ready to go. This is a quick and simple card, but exciting for the new holiday season coming up. I hope you guys enjoyed this video. If you did, please give it a thumbs up, and be sure to subscribe so you're notified the next time I post a video. Thanks so much for watching.